Eurosport. Now, my name's Steve Holdsworth. Going to kick off with a heavyweight contest featuring Ruslan Chagaev from Uzbekistan, but Germany-based, of course, in action against Garing Lane. Now, Lane's record reads like an absolute who's who of heavyweight boxing. And you may remember way back now in 1989, this man did some great things. In fact, had some great matches. He fought Ray Mercer, Riddick Bowe a couple of times, Anders Eklund. Moving further along, Trevor Berbick. First time we saw him, in fact, was when he beat Alex Garcia in a couple of rounds in 1993. Jerremy Williams, he took to the last round before he got stopped. He fought Larry Holmes for 10-round points defeat. Indeed he has.
Riddick Bowe, Trevor Berbick, Larry Holmes, Corey Sanders, Lance Whittaker, Lehman Brewster, Hasim Rahman und viele andere mehr. Begrüßen Sie aus Florida in der blauen Ecke Garing Lane.
Yep, based in Florida, but from Hillcrest in Maryland originally.
Die rote Ecke, 25 Jahre alt, 1,86 Meter groß, 102,0 Kilogramm schwer und Profi seit August 1997. Sein Rekord als Profi: 12 Kämpfe, 11 Siege, ein Unentschieden. 9 seiner Siege hat er durch K.O. gewonnen. Als Amateur war er zweifacher Weltmeister. Aus Hamburg, aus dem Boxstall Universum Box Promotion, Ruslan Chagaev.
Here he is, Ruslan Chagaev, Germany-based, as I say, and from Andijan in Uzbekistan originally. Undefeated in 12 fights, 1 draw, and that was a technical draw, and 11 wins, 9 inside. So Hulbert Ulrich, our referee, and back to Garing Lane. As one of the men I mentioned already, he was outpointed by Lance Whittaker, Lamont Brewster, Hasim Rahman, Mark Hulstrom, Brian Nielsen. I mean, these are all the men that have beaten him, but you can just tell he's been really boxing at a very high level. Jameer McCline, David Izonaritai, Corey Sanders, Stefan Nielsen again, Tony Halme. In fact, he beat Tony. David Tua, Michael Sprott. I was there for that. Dom Guinn beat him on points over 8 in a split decision. That's his last best performance, I suspect. But Lane has always been on the heavy side, and as you can see now, he's even heavier. 318 he's weighing for this one. He was 291 last time out, and a points defeat to Phil Jackson. On his best form, he can give Chagaev a few problems, but Ruslan Chagaev, well, he's quite ring-wise. Despite only having 12 pro fights behind him, he's a pretty decent fighter, Chagaev. Bit on the dull side, but that's okay, he is improving. And believe it or not, Lane can actually take a pretty good shot to that hangover belly. But, you know, it really does sometimes make a mockery of this sport, which is supposed to be the most athletic sport of all, but some fighters turn up in appalling condition, and Lane is no exception. So Chagaev then, he's been a professional fighter now since 1997, and that technical draw came in his 6th fight against Rob Calloway, of all people, man beaten by Audley Harrison. It was a cut. And Lane, as I said before, has been a professional fighter now since 1987. Some 17 years. Nice southpaw jab here from Chagaev. Can't miss the target, but not a great deal of power behind it. Not overly committing himself here in these early stages.
Stick to that now. This is your jab, accurate one. Stick to that, guy.
I'm going to say Chagaev reminds me facially of my old mate Jack Shepherd, who's a white-collar boxer, or at least he was. So, 45 seconds or so to go then, first round. And this one's scheduled, by the way, for 8 rounds. And when you think Garing Lane has been scheduled to do 12 rounds more times than Chagaev has had fights, it just goes to show that there was, at one point anyway, a pretty big gulf in class between these two. But that gap has closed. And I'm almost certain that Garing Lane fought Michael Sprott the same night that Lennox Lewis was beaten in 2 rounds by Oliver McCall, if I remember rightly.
10 seconds to go, okay, come on.
At Wembley Arena, but I could be wrong. Good start this then for Chagaev. Yeah, wins the first round pretty comfortably there. That is Felix Sturm, who of course gave Oscar De La Hoya a very tough fight. A lot of people thought he won it.
Gerade immer auf dem Körper, immer auf dem Körper. Okay? Ja, that's good. Yeah? Every time. And you see when he bring a jab, you make him with the right hand this. Every time, look. When you bring a jab, you go to this side, and bring your left counter. Oh, please.
Interesting there, the cornerman talking in English.
The right hand. Yeah? Okay.
Well, there's that chopping left hand there from Chagaev on the replay. Didn't have a great deal of effect because Lane was moving away from it.
You start Jerremy, it works out fine. Yeah, you listen there, okay? Come on now.
Here we go, round 2. Shade of rate this. So both men wearing the black shorts, but not too hard to tell these two apart. Garing Lane, well, he's, as I say, a bit on the tubby side. 318 he's weighing here. And believe it or not, that's a career heaviest for him. I think he was, yeah, he was in the early 250s, in fact, at one point in his career. But these days doesn't seem to be capable of shedding the pounds. Well, a bit of an attack there from Lane. The right hand there from Garing Lane.
That's a straight left. It has to be like that. When you stick to your jab. No.
Well, Lane going forward here in the second session, having stood back and got picked off in the opener, he decided tactically that was the wrong move. So he's actually taking the fight now to Chagaev, and that's no bad thinking.
Body shot. Go a little bit to the right.
Lane leaning on, using his weight, trying to tire Chagaev out. Ruslan Chagaev, though, short, sharp punches here, trying to stay mobile. In fact, Chagaev will know better than me that to get involved here with Lane on the inside would be a big mistake. Needs to keep it nice and long if he can.
One in the kisser. That's it. One in the kisser again.
Nice bit of work there from Chagaev. And again, when he's got to target the hit, he hits it.
You're doing fine. Go on. Cover. That's it. I want to jab.
And Lane, of course, gives the impression that he's quite a durable individual, but there will come a point when all of a sudden he just falls apart, like so many before him, and of course so many that will follow him. That's what age does to you. He's 40 years of age now, and Chagaev's 25. So good round there again for ultimately for Chagaev, but he had to put up some stick there.
Every time left. Okay? Hast du gehört?
So here's Ruslan Chagaev in the corner. Took a bit of stick there in the first half minute or so, didn't they? Bit of replay here then. Nice right hand that from Lane.
one behind in the left jab and the right uppercut, yeah? You go for this uppercut, and he's nearly get cut up here. And he's afraid. He's trying to get strong now because he wants to finish it. I want to. Okay, I want him to. Stay with
Here we go, then round 3.
Stay with your jab and listen what I'm telling
And
you. Okay?
this a heavyweight contest, of course, scheduled for 8. And of course, heavyweights don't have to worry about making weight. Unless, of course, they're not comfortable at a particular weight, then they will get themselves down or up to weight they are comfortable with. So Ruslan Chagaev, then the southpaw, has won the first couple of rounds, but as I say, took a bit of stick in the beginning of round 2. But using a bit of speed here now, and he's catching Garing Lane with ease. It's 3 fights, by the way, since Lane had a win. He beat Aurelio Perez on a 5th round knockout, but had a pretty dismal run prior to that. In fact, he lost his previous 8 prior to that last win. And some of them were just split decision defeats, and a couple of others were stoppage losses. But the rest were just on points. But Chagaev is getting through here with impunity. And again, nice bit of work here from Ruslan Chagaev. Staying quite mobile in front of Lane. And Lane has now been a bit reduced here to try and pick him off with one punch. And with that kind of power that Lane does have, if he delivers correctly, that right kind of punch at an advancing Chagaev, it might make all the difference, but it's going to be difficult getting it in.
Be first, be first. That's it. That's it, be first.
Well, nice little dummy there from Chagaev. Threat the left hand and landed the right hook. Nice bit of work here again. Lane trying to defend himself and fend those punches off, but can't stop them all. Well, as you can see now, Chagaev setting him up. Nice bit of lateral movement with that attack there from Chagaev. Whether he amounts to anything at title level, of course, is an entirely different matter. I personally don't think Chagaev's getting much better as he goes on. This is fight number 13 for him, I believe, as a professional. Indeed it is. 6'2", by the way, Chagaev. So he's a big enough lad. Although these days, you know, they're getting bigger and bigger, aren't they? The heavyweights. Lane's a big lad too, isn't he? Well, that's another good round there for Chagaev, despite a decent finish from Garing Lane. 30-27.
Short, what are you waiting for? He needs you there. You haven't trained. Yeah, but you need your rest, I know. But I don't want you to take it there. Baby, man.
This, by the way, fight number 61 for the American. And coming into this, 22 wins, 36 losses, 2 draws, and 13 wins inside the limit. Chagaev, remember, undefeated in 12, 11 wins and 1 technical draw, with 9 stoppage victories. So once again, Lane there trapped on the ropes. That was by the way, of his own volition. So trying to lure this man onto a big shot.
Okay.
Into round 4. And Garing Lane needs to up his pace here now. That's if he's still got an upper pace at this stage, which I doubt. So Chagaev then moving smoothly into a pretty comprehensive lead at the moment. Well, Lane didn't enjoy that left hand, did he? Or that one. Well, Chagaev might have him on the run now. But once again, needs to watch that counter. Well, he's a pretty chunky puncher, Lane, but he's not getting anything through at the moment. Having to soak them up here.
Watch the outside the right hand now. If he comes. Your time.
Well, I've got a feeling that this crowd and the Hans-Martin Schleierhalle in Stuttgart thoroughly enjoying this performance from Chagaev. It's quite clinical at the moment. And the Germans like their boxing in a clinical way. But I just get the feeling that Chagaev really needs to watch himself here, especially when he's on the attack. Well, we're approaching the last minute of round 4, and once again it's been all Ruslan Chagaev in this round, just like a replay of the second. Well, this is going nowhere now for Lane, under tremendous pressure.
What are you doing there, Gary? What are you doing there?
Well, you can hear Lane's cornerman saying, "What are you doing there, Garing?"
Move away there.
Well, he's imploring Lane to move off the ropes.
Move away.
Well, once again, lovely bit of work here from Chagaev.
10 seconds to go. Well, come on, give him a jab for the last. Give him a jab.
And Lane, of course, is just not sure what's coming next. But we are, and that's another round for Chagaev. 40-36, then 4 gone, and potentially 4 more to go.
So, Ruslan, komm mal zu, jetzt neu. Immer wieder Jab, Jab, nur Jab. Boom, 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 Jab, hörst du? Und warte, so, hast du gesehen? Wenn er kommt mit der rechten Hand, ne? Jab, Jab, Jab. And you bring your right hand, you go left side, okay? Jab, boom, boom, Jab, do it. One time.
Good bit of advice there from the cornerman. Let him come and bang up the jab. And more if you can get away with it, as we watch a bit more replay here. 1 or 2 punches coming back from Lane, but not an awful lot. And Lane's the kind of guy you hurt your hands on, you know. That big head of his stops a lot of punches.
Move your legs now.
So here we go then, round 5, halfway point. And Chagaev has really taken this one by the scruff of the neck, and he's got Lane really softened up now. But Lane coming to him.
Stay in the middle of the ring and chase him. Yeah.
No holding and hitting, says our referee. Oh, lovely bit of work there again from Chagaev. And there's something very disconcerting about hitting a big target very hard, and it doesn't move.
Watch your body now.
Well, we're back to where we were in the previous round.
He's pulling your protection. Left hook a little bit quicker.
Well, it looks like Lane's competitive career could be at an end, because he's certainly uncompetitive here. His last fight, incidentally, was in October of last year. Oh, lovely left to the body there, and one to the head as well. But that was very well placed there from Chagaev. Well, Lane thought everyone was coming to his head, and then all of a sudden he switched downstairs, up at the mandatory 8 count. Lovely left hand there from Chagaev downstairs, and he gets him again. And they're very hard to shake off, I've said that before. Well, he's going right for the middle of the body there, and Lane's gone again.
2, 3.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Well, he's taking his gum shield out. He's not going to get up.
8, 9.
It's all over for Lane.
Out.
So a 5th round win then. So Ruslan Chagaev wins in 5, and he switched downstairs beautifully. And Lane just wasn't expecting it. And you know, when you've got all your attention focused on taking shots to the head, and then suddenly one comes downstairs, it's very painful. What's this? Bing, that's the shot. That's a solar-plexus shot. And that one took an awful lot out of Lane, as you saw there. Very painful. He went down, delayed action. Watch this again, different angle now. Straight through the middle, look. Bang. Well, that was very well placed. Well, here we go then for the official verdict. That's 12 wins now, 1 technical draw on the Chagaev record, and unfortunately for Garing Lane, that is loss number 37 for him against 22 defeats, 2 draws, and 13 wins inside the limit. But as I say, his competitive career is well and truly over, as you can probably tell. Whereas Chagaev's, well, it's just kicking off, really, isn't it?
Und 46 Sekunden. Aus dem Boxstall Universum Box Promotion Ruslan Chagaev.
So Chagaev then the winner. Well, we've got bags more to come here on British Eurosport, and I hope you're going to stay with us. See you in just a moment.